Hi, hi. So I just want to talk about Donald Trump's recent restriction on so many countries, including F1 visas, um, MJB, non-immigrant and immigrant visas, and I wanna just put down my thoughts on that. To be honest with you, I believe that Donald Trump, I like his policies a lot, but it's just that the way he implements his policies, that's what the problem is. Because if um, if Donald Trump, implements his policies in a more calmer, rational way, then I believe that will literally make the United States push the United States further and forward, in whatever his plans are. But he implements his policies very, very rationally, fast, without thinking through, and it's not calm about it. So that's what where the problem comes in. Now let's say right now, okay, now he has put out the restriction on I think 39 countries, and part of those 39 countries, Nigeria is among, and now that means no longer F1 visas, MJB or whatever it is, immigrant or non-immigrant visas for Nigerians, and okay, that's not just it, because it's just like somebody come to your community and set up shop, right? And it's making a lot of money from me. People aren't patronizing this business, and later it's like, well, I don't want y'all, man, to come to my shop no more. Go somewhere else, cause I got somebody else now who's paying more than y'all. See, you might for a while those people who you send out might feel it, but later, in 2 to 3 years, 4 years, they get used to it. You feel me? I remember not too long ago, I put out a tweet on my thread account where I said, I see a situation where very soon the American embassies across the world become empty, and somebody was like, well, how possible is that? I think I deleted that tweet or that thread a month after I put it out, but that is what is happening right now, right? Look, the policy Donald Trump just implemented, for now it might affect those countries, right? But later, let's put it out like 2 to 3 years, 1 year. Those citizens of those countries would get used to it, and now the it will start to backfire back to America. What I'm saying is right now is let's just take up Nigeria right now, the capital of Lagos, Nigeria. In a day, when you go to the U.S. embassy in Lagos, I'm not even talking about U.S. embassy in Abuja, which is the capital. I'm saying U.S. embassy in Lagos. I believe that on the stats that embassy alone in a day, an interview, they interview nothing less than 4,000 Nigerians. If I'm being too over over the board with that, let's just put it at 3,000 Nigerians for F1 visas, B1 visas, whatever you name it. And now those embassies, they charge a visa fee whether you get the visa or not. You paying them $185. Apart from that, when you applying to the U.S. embassy for visa, be it B visas, F1 visas, whatever visa you're applying for, you gotta pay the Homeland Security $250. That is that is not even you getting a visa at all. It's not that you're gonna do this after you get a visa. It is you paying this money before you go for an interview, before you get a visa. So they don't really care. It's not their problem if they get a visa or not. And when you calculate that, in a day, in a single day, when you calculate that amount of money that they're paying, both for the Homeland Security, both for the visa fee, in a day, the U.S. embassy might be catching out just on that Lagos embassy, close to $2 million, maybe $1 million. Let's just put it at, okay, moderate average $1 million. When you calculate $1 million over the year, over the months, you can imagine how much these folks going on with in a year. And now the U.S. embassy is not. I don't think it depends on on America to fund his budget or to take care of it. They run their expenses based on all this money they get from students, from tourists, from whatever. And now, if you tell me that you're putting out this restriction on these students, especially in Lagos, Nigeria, where we have large amount of youths going trying to get to the United States of America, if you're putting out this restriction right now, who is this restriction in the long run? Who would it affect? Definitely not Nigerians, not the country you're putting the restriction on. Because I remember during COVID-19 when students could no longer go to the United States of America or apply for visas, the Homeland Security in America almost filed for bankruptcy. They was like, we don't have enough money to support, to run this department, and they were seeking help from the federal government in America. So when you do this, you're like, okay, fine. This is right now. No students is applying for visas. The American embassy is empty. And when you even come to even think about it, those countries that is listed in the restriction ban, these are countries where students from these countries are literally pouring into the United States as pouring money. And what I'm saying about this, is that this policy just implemented won't really affect Nigerians or any country in that list, but rather it will affect America more. Because how long would that embassy be running without money? You feel me? And now, let's just look at it from this aspect. The policy it just implemented will give a way for the United States dollar to begin to decline its strength. Because remember, dollar is the universal right now currency we use to trade, to travel, and all that. And if these people right now cannot come into your country, cannot change dollar, it means that the dollar will no longer be needed in the next 2 to 3 years. So this is like you using your own hand to cause your own downfall. If you now believe that the United States of America is the world leader, and as a world leader, you're that leader because let's say on a thinking scale of 100, if the whole world has a thinking scale of 100, right? Every other part of the world we're on 30 on that scale, and maybe the United States of America is on 50. And even if we know the facts that Nigerians and mostly citizens of this country that are put on these bans traveling to the United States of America, and they overstay their visas and they bring in fake documents to the embassies, but is the way to tackle or handle this issue putting out a restriction? Can't you think and say, okay, what way can we make sure that the documents that these people are bringing to the embassy is real? Can we, the bank statement, what way can we verify that it's real? Can we establish some that now where it is the bank themselves in Nigeria who now sends this bank statement to us, not the student bringing it themselves, or can we put it out in a way that we create a system in America that literally tracks non-immigrant, and if they overstay their visa, they get deported. So you can't tell me that out of this big brains in the United States that nobody can actually come up with, something like this. Because what this policy Trump just did will hurt America more than it will hurt these countries that he just put out these restrictions on. And if the BRICS nations are smart about this, they will now come up with a plan that will literally make countries to begin to trade in the BRICS currency, which will definitely, as time goes on, make the dollar irrelevant. You feel me? And that's what I'm talking about. Because how long will the Homeland Security run before they realize that actually it's these countries that this ban was put out against that actually give them money? I'm not a Christian, but I remember in the Bible when Jesus Christ was like, well, his father came kind of like that party in the Bible when he says a big man organized a party and he sent out invitation to his top friends, influential people, rich folks, and they all declined. But later he's like, well, you go out to the street, you bring the beggar, you bring everybody in here to get this place filled up, and the people who honor that invitation was the beggar. So what makes Trump thinks that in putting out this restriction on these developing countries will make those developed countries to come to the United States of America? And even if those developed countries come into America, would they still be paying the same amount that those non-developed countries would pay when they get in? Would it come in? Because I've studied the history of America. As a matter of fact, the reason why America became populated was not because Europeans wanted to go to America in the first place. It was prisoners and all manner of folks, convicts, who were sent to America that got America to increase in population. If not, why folks didn't want to come to America? I'm just saying. Trump is a very smart man. I like his policies, but it's just the way he implements it. It's like when he slammed tariffs on China without really setting down the infrastructure that is needed to overtake China. And later he discovered that, man, this is not something that he did not go as a plan. Because you cannot just wake up one morning and slam tariff on China. China is the biggest when it comes to manufacturing, and your country as a whole depends 90% on Chinese import. So you cannot just wake up and slam tariff on China because you did not set up an infrastructure, a structure to replace that manufacturing prowess that China now has. You feel me? So when you even look at these border policies, you look at how he's implementing it. I don't know. They're all nice policies, but it's just the way Trump's implementing. I believe that if Trump becomes calm and rational, Trump is just like somebody that the universe has sent in this last minute to salvage, to add a little bit of time to America's reign. You feel me? Because yes, I like it. It's the policy of citizenship by birth. It's very understandable. I like that. I'm in line with so much of these policies, but when it comes to how it's implementing it, it's several routes to a destination. It's not just one route. So you should have an advisor, right, that should advise him better on how he implements these policies. Because in the long run, it's just like we out here in Nigeria, we're going through this crazy government, we're going through this bad government, you feel me, this government that don't care about nobody. Every single day, every single month, they're bringing up one crazy new something to literally destabilize the citizens. But once they bring it out, we feel the pinch for a while, and later we're like, well, life goes on, like Tupac said, we live our lives. So I'm just saying that this policy that Trump just put out right now, in the long run, would not affect these countries that are under restriction, but rather would turn back and backfire on America itself. Because if you don't want me in your country, I might as well go somewhere else. You feel me? And remember, they got the money, and when you literally look at it, go on the stats of the United States of America, you find out that the people who are paying for these outrageous cities fees and visa fees, they're not even from the developed countries. They're from non-developing countries. Just look at it, bro. So it means that not only will the Homeland Security embassies be hit by this, but even universities will be hit by this. Because universities will, in a university, let's say they have a couple of percentage that that they get from these Nigerian students, whatever students, and now it's cut into half. It's not free. So this will literally not only affect the homeland or the embassies, it will affect the universities, and when it affects the universities, it will affect teachers, and when the pay cut of teachers and professors, and from there it goes on. For me, I like Trump policy. Is a very nice policy. Most of his policies are nice, very good, but I just believe that if he calmly implements these and rationally implements these policies, then it will achieve his aim of making America great again. But if he continues to act on emotions and all that irrational thinking he has, I don't believe that he might achieve his goal for that. And yeah. mean, it's very important. I like his policy on the border. I like his policy on the citizenship by birth. I like his policies on bringing manufacturing. I like his idea, not policy. I like his idea of bringing manufacturing back to America. But the problem is how he plans to go about it. And just like recently when he lashed out on the Nigerian government, saying that he wants to invade Nigeria and all that concerning the Christianity, the Christian murder or the killings of Christians in Nigeria. I mean, it's a very, very good idea. Nobody should be killed because of his belief, but how he chooses to go about it is that when I think somebody was called before a committee and they're asking, okay, why would President Trump go on social media and say these things? Isn't that other avenue that the United States of America can assist Nigeria in fighting these insecurities or fighting these problems? And the man that was being interviewed, he was like, yes, exactly, we are not technically going into America into Nigeria to invade Nigeria, but we're thinking of providing assist to Nigeria in the sense that would help him make more decisive effort to combat these insecurities. That's the way it is when it comes to this some restriction. I believe that there's more happening, more thinking, more ideas that somebody can put in that we can put in to help address this issue that was raised about Nigerians going to the embassy with fake documents, overstaying, and all that, or whatever other reason he has to put this restriction. Yeah, that's my say on it, man. That's my say on it.